1v1?
Turn it up.
The tennis world is raving about Bose's recent power move. They went right to Coco Gauff instead of the big players that everyone was expecting. Here, we're not discussing a random recommendation. We are discussing a strategic alliance that indicates the current location of the actual money in professional tennis.
That's out.
All that sound from this is crazy.
Crazy.
But in all honesty, do you believe that Bose made the correct decision here, or should they have chosen someone else? Tell me in the comments. Okay, how are things going for everyone? Your buddy is here to give you an in-depth analysis of what's truly going on in the professional tennis industry. The real business transactions are what count, not the drama or rumors. Because, in the end, sponsorships and brand alliances are what monetarily distinguish excellent players from great players. It's what distinguishes people who are merely playing tennis from those who are using their identities to create actual company empires. This is crucial context, so let's take a moment to discuss Bose. Bose is not some obscure audio brand or tiny startup. We are discussing one of the world's most reputable manufacturers of audio equipment. They have existed for many years. They are credible. They are known for their high caliber. Major events are sponsored by them. They collaborate with top athletes. Bose makes a big statement about who they believe will be the future of their sport when they choose to support someone with their name and money. This is what just took place. Ben Shelton and Coco Gauff recently appeared in a commercial for Bose's new SoundLink Plus portable speaker, which is part of the Citrus collection. The two athletes were advertising this speaker to the globe by dressing in bright yellow. On the surface, that could appear to be just another haphazard business partnership. Athletes frequently appear in advertising. In professional sports, such as typical. This is where things start to get interesting, though. Bose chose more than just two players. They chose Ben Shelton and Coco Gauff. And people don't realize how important that decision is. Take a moment to consider the professional tennis scene. You have well-known superstars. There are players who have dominated the sport for years, won Masters events, and won Grand Slams. Sponsors have been pursuing your well-known brands for decades. There are players who have previously earned enormous sums of money, have tournament wins on their CV, and are well-known worldwide. Sponsors typically target those players. The safe bets are those. These are the athletes who have a track record of drawing attention to anything they touch. However, Bose chose not to pursue the conventional option. The move that has everyone in the tennis community talking right now is their pursuit of Coco. Why would a big company like Bose choose someone who is still developing her profession at the greatest level above the experienced players? Because they are able to perceive things that the old guard is unable to. They envision professional tennis's future. They observe the direction of the market. They observe trends in demographics. Engagement indicators are visible to them. They want to be connected to the Coco Gauff movement because they believe it is the future of women's tennis in particular. Now, let's examine what makes Coco such a useful endorsement partner. She's quite young. She has extraordinary talent. She has been winning important competitions. She has won the Grand Slam. Because she embodies the next wave of American tennis supremacy, she has appeal on a global scale. She speaks clearly. She is marketable. She is active on social media. She appeals to a wider audience than just tennis enthusiasts. People want to watch Coco perform. Furthermore, not all professional athletes, even those at the top levels, fit that description. This is where things become even more intriguing, though. Coco wasn't signed by Bose to do a single commercial and call it a day. This alliance is legal. This is alignment with the brand. In the tennis scene, Coco Gauff is starting to represent Bose audio goods. That's not the same as doing a single location. This involves establishing her as the company's spokeswoman, representative, and personification of Bose's values. And the value of that kind of collaboration is substantial. Depending on the conditions of the deal, we could be talking about millions of dollars. Let's now discuss the implications for the players that Bose did not select, as there are undoubtedly some wounded egos at the moment. There are prominent tennis players who have been in the game longer than Coco. There are players who have won more Grand Slams. Some of your guys have won more tournament titles. There are players who have earned more prizes. Nevertheless, after considering everything, Bose declared, "No, we're going with Coco." That's a claim. That is essentially Bose telling the tennis community that they believe Coco's appeal and trajectory are more valuable than some other players' legacies. Here, the irony virtually writes itself. Coco wasn't prepared for this degree of fame, according to all the critics. Everyone who doubted her ability to manage the stress of winning a Grand Slam at such a young age. Everyone who doubted her and wished for her to fail or struggle. Now, a significant global brand essentially declares, she's the future. Investing in her is worthwhile. She is the one who should be included in a commercial that will be viewed by millions of people in various nations and on various platforms. Additionally, this conveys a message about how companies are considering sports endorsements in 2025. They look at more than simply prior accomplishments. They are examining more than just tournament records. They are examining trajectory. They are considering marketability. They are trying to figure out who will be fascinating and relevant in 5 years. They are examining who appeals to the target population. They are searching for someone who can become a cultural icon and go beyond their sport. Coco is currently quite valued because of this. She's already going beyond tennis. Beyond the realm of sports, she is already emerging as a cultural phenomenon. Ben Shelton's appearance in this commercial is also noteworthy, so let's take a moment to discuss him. He's another young American athlete with a lot of promise. He has his own sponsorship agreements with well-known companies like Rolex and Onyx. Thus, Bose is explicitly identifying themselves with the youthful American tennis trend. They are presenting themselves as the brand that the younger generation finds appealing. They have nothing against young, gifted Americans who are the sport's future. It's clever branding. That's being aware of the market. However, this is what will make people go completely crazy about it. The big players that were passed over are beginning to lose their significance. The world goes on. When a company like Bose takes a choice like this, it's a public confirmation that the torch is being passed and a very obvious statement that the future belongs to guys like Coco and Ben, not necessarily to the elder generation anymore, as the market shifts and new faces emerge. For anyone who wasn't selected, that is the true pain of this situation. Now, this makes perfect sense for Bose from a business standpoint. Their goal is to become the tennis audio brand of the future. They want to be connected to young, talented athletes who are succeeding, developing, and leaving a lasting legacy. They aspire to be at the forefront of the upcoming tennis revolution. Additionally, associating with Coco Gauff is essentially placing a wager on the future. It's a clever long-term strategy rather than merely a response to current events. Additionally, consider the location. This advertisement promotes a portable speaker with vivid yellow design from the Citrus collection. Ben and Coco are both young, lively, and full of life. It fits the brand perfectly. Here, Bose isn't attempting to appear mature and well-established. They are attempting to appear new, contemporary, and in line with the sport's future. That's deliberate. That is a strategic move. Coco is the ideal face for this campaign because of this. Let's also think about how this affects Coco's entire portfolio of brands. She already has significant sponsorships. She wears clothing from New Balance. She has an eye for strings and rackets. For high-end fashion things, she has Miu Miu. She wears timepieces made by Rolex. She currently offers Bose audio items in addition to her Ray-B band Meta for eyewear. This is the process of creating an empire. Young sportsmen become international brands in this way. You collaborate with big businesses that wish to be linked to your brand, reputation, and future. Compared to most players twice her age, Coco is performing better. Attention will be drawn to the commercial itself, which features both athletes in bright yellow. It is unforgettable. It's not the same. People are not put to sleep by the typical business sponsorship video. It's enjoyable. It has a lot of energy. It's precisely the kind of content that will create attention outside of traditional advertising channels, have viral moments, and have snippets shared on social media. You can't always put a figure on the value that Bose is providing. Let's now discuss the implications of this for tennis sponsorships going forward. Other companies will be taking notice if Bose decides to invest in Coco Gauff as their main tennis representative. They will witness this partnership's achievement. They will observe the reach and engagement. They will discover that Coco is more than simply a skilled tennis player. They will also want to put money into her. This one sponsorship agreement might lead to additional significant collaborations that Coco hadn't even thought about yet. Right now, the haters are undoubtedly furious about this. They're most likely looking for explanations for why this choice is illogical. Most likely, they are offering justifications. They're presumably pointing to players who have won more tournaments or Grand Slams, not realizing that in the present era, tennis sponsorships are based on more than just accomplishments. They have to do with who you are, where you're heading, and what your brand stands for. At the moment, Coco is superior in all three of those categories. It's also critical to recognize that Bose had other options. A player with a well-established reputation may have been their sponsor. Instead of going with someone who is already well-known worldwide among older audiences, they went with the future. They went with energy. They picked young people. They selected a player that embodies the best tennis players of the future. In essence, Bose management made that choice after assessing the situation and stating, "We want to grow with this player. As she continues to earn majors and create her legacy, we want to be a part of her path." Additionally, the advertisement for the Citrus Collection's SoundLink Plus portable speaker is brilliant marketing. It's not a dull recommendation. It is an endorsement of a way of life. Coco and Ben are shown in vivid yellow, signifying vigor, hope, and modernism. It's not simply some dull tech accessory. It's audio equipment that's positioned as modern and fashionable. It literally means that the young, energetic, athletic generation that is taking over the world is the target market for Bose audio goods. The ideal individual to represent that message is Coco Gauff. Additionally, the sponsorship presents Coco as more than just an athlete. She's developing into a personality. She is starting to act as an endorser. Major worldwide brands are starting to want to identify themselves with her. You'll know you've advanced to the next level in professional athletics at that point. At that point, you see you're creating something more than merely winning tennis matches. You're developing a brand. You are constructing an empire. You're turning into a commodity outside of your sport. This is a moment of reckoning for the players who were passed over. The market is essentially informing them that they are no longer in control of the future. They are still excellent players despite this. It doesn't imply that they lack skill or accomplishment. It simply indicates that Bose thinks Coco Gauff is a better investment for their future than they are from a commercial and business standpoint. And it is predicated on all the analytical information that goes into these choices, including market research, demographic information, and engagement metrics. The timing of this is also important. This is taking place just prior to Wimbledon 2025. Ben and Coco are set to participate in one of the most prominent sporting events. And just before that, Bose is using them in a big commercial. That is not a coincidence. Strategic timing is what that is. As they prepare for one of the biggest competitions of the year, Bose wants their products to be connected to these athletes. When people watch Wimbledon, they want them to think about Bose. The brand should be in the forefront of their minds. In the grand scheme of things, Bose is essentially making an investment in the future of professional tennis sponsorships. They are receiving more than a one-time ad or a 2-year contract. They are establishing themselves as the tennis audio brand of the future. They are investing early on athletes who will rule the sport for the next 10 to 15 years. It's long-term thinking. Strategic positioning is what that is. Coco Gauff was the clear choice for their goals because of this. That is the true tale of the Bose agreement with Coco Gauff. It goes beyond a simple advertisement. It concerns the direction of tennis's future. As long as Coco continues to stack these agreements, the naysayers can continue to be angry. Click the like button if you believe Bose should make this move. Get updates on all the major tennis sponsorship news by subscribing. I appreciate you watching.